welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Astro and Intuitive forecast for the week of November 13th until the 19th. I don't know about you, but the weekend and a little bit of the last piece of last week has been blissfully full of like unexpected surprises and developments left and right, and we're going to be feeling that moving into this week. Part of this is because Venus, which rules beauty, abundance, love, and relationships, is meeting with Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion and wisdom and the guru. Now, when the two planets meet, the energy of these planets merge together really, really beautifully and create well, I don't want to say surprises, even though there is the element of unexpected surprises for a lot of us for this week, and we've been feeling that last week. But really what this ends up doing is gives us a little cosmic treat, and I've been talking about this for a long time. Well, just the cosmos in general. So even though a lot of us are being tested, we're purging, we're releasing, we're removing, we're stripping of these old skins, which we can't help but to do with this Scorpio energy that's been swirling around us for a long time. And I've predicted this, and I've been talking about this for a month and some change, saying that, you know what, even though as these personal planets are moving out of the sign of Scorpio, we're not going to be completely released of the Scorpio energy. I'm making up words here because so much is still rippling and moving and swirling, especially this week, definitely this week, as we also have the new moon in the sign of Scorpio. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Venus and Jupiter together are meeting in the sign of Scorpio, and again, it lights the skies up. Now, I see this as the opportunity for some really strong potential for love to bloom, to blossom, to grow. I'm seeing the opportunity and the potential for us to have a lot of fun. I'm seeing the opportunity and potential for abundance and finances to kind of sort themselves out, and maybe even money coming into your life, maybe from an unexpected source, or maybe something that has been given to you over time, like through family or family generations, or maybe something you've been working really hard towards. So I see that. The other thing that I want to, this aspect is going to be perfect on the 13th, but 9 times out of 10, we felt it over this weekend. Now, in the last report, and you've heard me talking about this in the weeks before, of these, like, this buildup, this kind of build-up energy, and sometimes we don't need a new moon in order to trigger it, but sometimes that new moon does trigger it. But here we have, again, this like cosmic reward that comes in and kind of lights up our own personal sky. Now, I look at this intuitively, and I feel that it doesn't come without not an obligation, but it kind of like a little, this little treat that's kind of wiggled above your head. You have to work for it, you have to earn it. And I see that the potential that some of you guys may have to put out money or give money, or maybe your income has to increase or your spending has to increase in order for you to receive this cosmic benefit. And there may be some hesitation, which is totally understandable, totally natural. So let's say this aspect is happening within your 4th house of home. Maybe you find this apartment that has sick views, perfect location, is beautiful, because again, Venus represents beauty and things that are aesthetically appealing and pleasing to us. And maybe the space is larger than the space that you normally have. Maybe this is a house, maybe this is an apartment, and it comes with a bit more expense that you have to pay for it, but it's worth it. And it's also a cosmic treat. And normally the cost for this rent or this house is more than what it is that you're getting it for. And again, this is the cosmos, the universe saying, look, if you want this, it's yours. Maybe this is an item that you want to purchase because, again, Venus and Jupiter together connect with our values and our finances and money and the things that we value. So maybe we do want to put down a good chunk of change on this bag that's for sale. Or for me, this surprise came this weekend in the form of a tiny puppy that I didn't even know I was going to get. And the puppy himself came with a little heavy price tag, but already, you guys, it's been so worth it for me. And he's so cute, and I just love him, and he's giving the best vibes. You saw me talk about him on my Instagram, BehatiLife. His name is Franklin, and I'm really hoping to get a video about him on the YouTube channel because he's just so cute. But either way, the joy and the pleasure that he's given to my life already has just been so worth it. It's been priceless. So, and I can imagine already that it's going to pay off. But again, this is something that I wasn't even expecting. But that's because, again, Uranus is here shaking and, you know, shaking the boat a little bit and making us get a little uncomfortable, but throwing a surprise our way, and we're like, didn't see that coming. Okay, let's go ahead and start planning for it, which is really to sum up my entire weekend. So I want to hear how your weekend has been, because 9 times out of 10, you felt it. You've been feeling these aspects this weekend. You're definitely going to feel it today. And I want to say give it another week, because Venus takes a little while to move, and Jupiter definitely takes even longer to move. So these aspects are going to be perfect on the 13th, but we're still going to feel it for this week moving forward. What did else? Oh, okay. So the thing that I want to say about this too is with this Scorpio energy that we're dealing with, I've been saying this again and again and again and again, because again, this emphasis on Scorpio energy, you really want to connect with what feels real, what's raw, and what's authentic. And with this, there is this kind of like stripping of old stuff, because Scorpio rules, you know, fear and death and this kind of like rebirth and renewal naturally, because it's ruled by the sign, the planet Pluto, which totally has its fingers in the mix here and totally brings that energy into us now. It's the darker side, the shadow sides, but it's so dark. And I mean, and just because it's dark, it's bad, it's real, it's raw, and it's authentic. And it's showing different sides, different aspects of us, and making it very clear and apparent to us. So with this energy and with these transits, really what I want you to do is to, when you're asking for blessings from the universe, oop, we've got a low power signal. Okay. When you're asking for these blessings from the universe, make sure that they're coming from a space like these things that come into your life. They're not just like, oh, here's, you know, this and make you happy. No, it's stuff that has meaning and purpose and a divine reason for being in your life. And that's why I see such good, why you should invest in these things. You know what I mean? So asking for a bigger space or a nicer space is going to help you, you know, enjoy your home time, especially body. Maybe going on a trip, you know, on this trip you meet a guru. Investing in yourself is going to allow you to, whatever it is that investing in yourself is going to allow you. So there's so many different things, but with this Scorpio energy, it really asks you to look into it. It's like, okay, is this something that I really truly want? Because again, Scorpio energy doesn't want to deal with the superficial. And if Venus and Jupiter were meeting anywhere else in the chart, in any other sign, I would be like, okay, you know, this could be just you guys going out and having a good time, but not the case when it's in the sign of Scorpio. This is just way too real, way too raw, way too intimate, way too powerful for it to just be something that just comes in like a wave and then flows out in a moment. So that's something that I see. The other thing that I see is the fact that Venus and Neptune are meeting in this they're really coming close into this nice little trine. And Neptune rules illusion and fantasy and idealism. And Venus represents, you know, love and beauty. And when the two of these guys meet together, it's just the perfect picture. It's soulmate love. It's unconditional love. It's unconditional understanding. And it really creates this veil across this week it really creates this veil across the board for this week. And for some of you guys, you're like, that sounds bad. Like, if I can't see things for what they are, then, you know, am I being lied to? And it's not. It's not a lie. What it is sometimes the world and the universe wants to paint a really pretty picture for you, because you know, sometimes it's good to see things in a positive light. Sometimes it's good to not see all the negative sides of something and just allow yourself to enjoy the positive and the cute and the adorable and the beautiful and the fantastic. So Venus and Neptune trying together this week really bleed into the energy of this week as a whole and create this like glorious glistening light that I just find so phenomenal. So with this, I say allow yourself to really lose yourself in details and love and expression and beauty and fun, and don't really put too much heaviness on it, because we've been dealing with a lot of heaviness, not only in our world, but in our personal lives. And now it's time for you to kind of, you know, loosen up a little bit, enjoy, have fun, and enjoy pleasure. The one thing too that's kind of bugging me out, but I don't really consider this a bad thing, but I really want you guys to be aware of it, is the fact that Mars is sitting in the sign of Libra. It's going to be squaring off with Uranus. Is it? It's going to be squaring off with Pluto. And also at some point it's going to be directly opposite of Uranus. I'm looking at the chart right now, and I want to say give it another week, but I'm going to put the direct dates below in the comments. But what I see for this is an opportunity for some real push-pull when it comes to like power struggles, ego trips, those types of things. I even can see this as potential for like a violent outburst, which I want us to be mindful of this week, because it just seems like the balance is off. And it seems like people can be triggered really easily. Luckily for us, we do have this like positive aspect with Venus and Jupiter, and Venus trine Neptune here, which is good. Mercury connecting with Mars, so the opportunity for you guys to work things out if there is a fight, but also on a grand scale, it's difficult to kind of get. Oh. Okay, sorry you guys, my battery's about to die, so I'm trying to, I don't want to speed through this, but I also don't want to get cut off. But really what this can create is like, it's like a spark. So you have fire and you have ice, and the two of them together come and can explode. So what I don't want you guys to do this week and moving into the energy of next week is don't take crazy gambles. So even though you have this like veil across your face, you know, in front of you saying, you know, this is good, this is glittering, this is dope, when it comes to like reckless sports, when it comes to spontaneous sports, high risk sports, or activities, I really don't want you to do it, because in some ways these aspects are good for relationships, artistic expression, starting a business, building a business, connecting with others. But when it comes to like reckless behavior, jumping out of airplanes, you know, skydiving, going ice skating on thin ice, you know, climbing up the side of a mountain, drag racing, these are things that you really don't want to do this week, moving into the energy of next week, because the risk here is not worth the reward. Trust me, I'm your astrologer. I mean, to each your own. My Virgo tendencies, you know, and my Cancer ascendant really wants me to reach out and nurture you guys, and as your mother, as your energy focused astrological mother, and be like, okay, please put your jacket on before you leave. Don't do anything crazy, baby. Text me when you're on your way. Text me when you get there. That's the Virgo Cancer side of me that really wants to look out for you guys. To each their own, but I'm just telling you honestly that the aspects are way too high risk for you to, you know, gamble on your life or your safety. Drive safely. Don't start a fight. You never know what people are carrying these days where it comes to guns, weapons, or where their mind is at. So really look out for yourself. Take care of yourself. And then finally, we're ending this week on this glorious, gorgeous Scorpio new moon. Now, everything that we've been building up towards, where we're like reevaluating, purging, releasing, reconnecting, is now built up to this moment where we want to plant that seed. So all of what you've come to understand, all of what has brought you right here in this moment, is now when you plant the seed, because you have awareness and you know what you want, and you're coming from a place of authentic originality and a vision of what you want for your world, and what it is that you're ready to create, and what it is that you're able to accept, because you've gone through looking through the skeletons in your closet, and you looked at them and you're like, I challenge you to a duel, but don't get too crazy, but I challenge you to a duel. And you're fearless now. You're really entering into a space of fearlessness, because you've built up to this point where you're like, you know what, honestly, nothing's going to hold me back, because this is what is for me. And what I want, it's not a bad thing for me to ask for, you know, quality It's not a bad thing for me to want more for my life. And I don't want superficial. I want real. I want authentic. And if what's in my environment is not that, then it has to go. And anything that I'm releasing, I know is happening for a reason, because what is ahead of me is far better than what I'm leaving. And that's where all of us are at right now. And I know even sometimes we have our own personal doubts, but just because you're doubting it doesn't mean that it's not, you know, here for the good, or that, you know, you don't have this blessing around you. And all you have to do is plant that seed of faith, and those things start to grow all by themselves, okay? So my next video is going to be about the Scorpio new moon. Yes, there are some difficult transits that are happening here, but you guys already know how I feel about tense alignments. They act as the friction that can help us to get to where it is that we want to go, and that explosion to just propel us into the next level. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. However, sometimes there is some trouble that can come with it. But again, we'll talk about it in full detail. For now, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure that you're subscribed, because there's many more videos where this comes from, where this one came from. And you know, you really don't want to miss any of these details that are coming forward, okay? I love you. Make sure you share this video with your friends. We'll talk soon. Bye.